How's it going, guys? So, today is a very special day. It is Zot Chanukah. It is the 8th day of Hanukkah. It also is the second day of the month of Tevet, the Hebrew month of Tevet. I was born on the second day of the month of Tevet. The year that I was born on the Hebrew calendar, it happened to be the 7th day of Hanukkah. So it's not always the same day in terms of Hanukkah, because every year Tevet has a different amount of days. Rather, some years it has one Rosh Chodesh day, and other years it has two Rosh Chodesh days. So Hanukkah always starts on the same day, and the 7th day always falls on Tevet. It's a question of, is it on Rosh Chodesh Tevet or on the 2nd of Tevet? The year that I was born, it fell on the 2nd of Tevet. This year it falls on the 8th day falls on the 2nd of Tevet. With that said, guys, the Ruzhiner Rebbe, the Grand Rabbi of a place called Ruzhin in Ukraine, said that Zot Hanukkah is as powerful, the day is as powerful as the Ne'ilah prayer, the final prayer of Yom Kippur. Why? Because in general, the holiday of Hanukkah is the light of Mashiach, the lights of Mashiach, and it stands to reason, at least for me, that the 8th day of Hanukkah is like the brightest light of Mashiach. It's connected to the temple, it's connected to the redemption, and the 8th day, the number 8 in Judaism, is in reference to anything that's above nature, because you have 7 days, 7 days of creation. It's nature, and then you go anything past that. 8 is anything above nature. Basically, what we know as miracles or anything above natural law, right? So Baruch Hashem, I was born on the 2nd of Tevet. It was the 7th at that time of 7th day of Hanukkah, but sometimes it's the 7th and sometimes it's the 8th, right? Which is interesting, because in my life I see that sometimes there are things that are within nature, right? Or, let's say, 50 or 75, depending on the situation. And a lot of times there's a lot of stuff that's been above nature, right? With that said, guys, I want to give you guys a blessing, anybody watching, because any Jew on his Hebrew birthday has the power to give a blessing. So I want to give you guys a blessing. And it's interesting because I like to think that anybody who subscribes to this channel or comes across this channel is of a like mind, with the exception of some of the trolls that show up depending on the topic, or the naysayers. But usually people are like-minded, at least in terms of general, kind of life philosophy, not necessarily, religious theology, but life philosophy, let's put it that way. We all believe in God, let's say. I'm going to go ahead and assume that. So guys, I want to give you guys a blessing that you continue to see the world in the way that you see it. What do I mean by that? You can continue to see the world through the lens of, or current events through the lens of the Torah, or current events through the lens of the Bible, biblical lens, current events or everything that's going on around you, both in the general sense and in your private lives, through the lens of the Mashiach process. All right? I'm assuming that everybody who watches, at least subscribes to this channel, sees it that way, And if you don't, you actually maybe should. If you want some primers, I can recommend, first and foremost, Rabbi Kessin, Mendel Kessin, and actually also his brother, I believe, Shlomo Kessin. Very incredible lectures about all that kind of stuff. if you haven't already checked it out. And yeah, guys, I just want to give you a blessing to just continue in that mode, really. Not only that, for you guys to be I want to say spiritually vigilant, but also, physically vigilant, because as you guys can see, everything that's going on around us, it's only getting hairier and hairier, even with all the stuff that's going on with, we're waiting for a particular inauguration, we're waiting for this, we're waiting for that, we're waiting for the hostages to come back, a certain regime to collapse in the Middle East, what have you. But as you guys could see, what happened in New Orleans yesterday, in Las Vegas, what certain people are trying to do, they're trying to do it again, what they were doing, from 2020 to 2022, I want to say, or 2021, they're going to try again. But guys, as well as I do, it's mainly a spiritual war. So I want to give you guys all a blessing on my Hebrew birthday to be, I guess you could say, effective or vigilant soldiers in that war, in that, I guess, it's really a conflict between the people who are with Hashem, those who are with Hashem, and those who are not. And one other thing, guys, and I'll end with this. I guarantee you that most of the people watching this, the last 4 years, a lot of our friends and family at certain points looked at us like we were crazy. So I want to give you guys a bracha, a blessing, for, as we continue here, and for, more crazy things are going to happen, for finally those friends and family who looked at you were crazy before, for them to be able to have their eyes opened, for the Yetzer Hara, for the evil inclination to, the veil to be lifted over, from their eyes, for them to be able to be what's called mekabel, from being able to receive the message that you're giving them, and not think that you're crazy, but actually to think that you're the normal one, and you're the one that sees, and for them to listen to you and follow your kind of your leadership here. So God willing, guys, and God willing, all of the evil plots and the evil plans will be foiled by Hashem himself, and God willing, we will see Mashiach sooner than later. All right, guys, Zot Chanukah Sameach, and belated, I guess, Chodesh Tov, and I will speak to you soon.